experienced. We can see here that this is very individual. Not everyone is going to have the same experiences. Not everyone has the same feelings of pain. What is a 2 to some might be a 5 to others. When I said pain also has character, I meant that we often describe it as maybe sharp, stabbing, dull, achy, or even burning. But why are we feeling pain in such different ways? When you get hurt, special tissue damage sensing nerve cells called nociceptors fire and send signals to the spinal cord and then up to the brain. This is where the processing work gets done in the gray matter, which consists of the cells called neurons and glia. The brain has a superhighway that carries information as electrical impulses from one area to another, called your white matter. This then carries pain information from the spinal cord to the brain in our sensing pathway that ends in the cortex, a part of the brain that decides what to do with that signal. Another system of interconnected brain cells called the Sidelines network decides what to pay attention to. Since pain can have real, serious consequences, the pain signal immediately activates the Sidelines network. Now you're paying attention. The brain also responds to the pain and has to cope and figure out what to do with these pain signals. So, motor pathways are activated. Think of when you touch a hot stove. What's your immediate reaction? To take your hand off the stove. Your brain senses that your body is in danger, i.e., you feel the pain, and then your motor pathways know to get your hand off the stove. But modulation networks are also activated that deliver endorphins and enkephalins, which are chemicals that are released when you're in pain or during extreme exercise. Have you guys ever experienced runner's high? Despite being a soccer player, I'm going to be honest, I've never been one to experience that. I'm just kidding. Those chemicals that I just said are actually released during runner's high. So, yeah, some people, quite literally, get excited and don't feel the pain as much when they're working out like that. These chemicals help regulate and reduce pain. Think of it as our body's painkillers. All these networks and pathways work together to create your individualized pain experience, which functions to prevent further tissue damage and help you cope with pain. The system might be similar for everyone, but like I said before, every body is different. So, the sensitivity and efficiency of these brain circuits determines how you might feel pain. What hurts horribly for me might just be an everyday experience for you. This is why some people have greater pain than others, and why some might even develop chronic pain that does not go away with standardized treatment, while others might respond well. Pain is so variable in sensitivity, and it's no different than other kinds of variability. Think of how some people might enjoy one thing while others might enjoy another, or what makes one person really happy might really upset the other. Well, this is actually important because it also relates to how we treat pain. For mild pain, non-prescription medication actually might work on the specific cells, while other stronger medications might focus on the brain or boosting our coping systems or endorphins. Everyone copes differently with their pain. Like we said before, some people distract themselves, And this actually might be the same thing that's causing them pain. I know at least when I was in a lot of pain with soccer, whether it be emotional or physical or related to my mental health, the first thing I wanted to do was play soccer. And that was my way of distracting myself. You know how everyone says that you need a release? You need something that's going to be bringing you joy and distracting you from a hard day. Well, for me, this was soccer. And for others, this could be some type of relaxation, meditation, yoga, or maybe even just watching your favorite show. Well, for some people who suffer from severe chronic pain, that pain isn't just going to go away with their favorite activities. None of that's going to work. They're not just going to be able to take an Advil and be all right. Now, this is where it gets really tricky. We don't always have the best strategies on how to help mediate some of the pain that individuals with chronic pain experience. Traditional medicine isn't always going to work on them because it's tested on majority or large group of people. Not everyone is an athlete that has taught their brain to ignore their pain signals. So, what works for the majority of the population might not work for you. It's important to find some version of treatment that is on an individual basis. It's so important to have a good connection with your doctor, with your trainer, with your physical therapists. Recovery is so individual. Maybe one girl is running 6 months after her ACL surgery. Maybe another girl takes a year, or maybe another girl might not ever be able to compete again. Don't compare yourselves to other people in recovery. We don't always remember that recovery is so individualized, and with social media, it's so easy to compare yourselves with everyone else. I'll be honest here, I do this all the time. When I had my ankle surgery, I felt so trapped because I was told that I was going to have to be in a boot up until I believe it was maybe 2 months post-op. Yeah, that sounds right. Well, other people I know, they were able to get out of that boot quickly. Susie was able to go on a walk after her ACL surgery or ankle surgery, and I'm stuck here. I think that's often the hardest part of recovery, the feeling of being stuck, like there's nothing you can do. Like, why is what's working for everyone else not working for me? Remember, it's okay. Your recovery is not anyone else's. It's okay to take your time and to listen to your body. Now, in terms of athletes that are able to ignore their pain, this is such a clear explanation of why this can happen. When you grow up and are constantly taught that pain is normal, your brain is going to be able to start to think that's the truth. Like I said before, some people process pain by distracting themselves. Or I guess they're not even really processing it, right? They're distracting themselves. Yeah, the reason we have pain is to prevent our bodies from further harm, but I'm distracted, I'm playing, I'm doing what I love. My endorphins aren't letting me even feel that pain necessarily. So how would I know? I'm so busy that I don't even give myself the time to feel pain. And if I do, it's not like I can do anything about it. There are so many articles that conclude the same thing. Elite and high-level athletes possess consistently higher pain tolerance compared to non-athletes. I feel like this makes a lot of sense, right? I don't know. When you think of an athlete, you likely think of grit. You likely think of being able to ignore that pain. They're tough, right? Well, yeah, for the most part, it's true. Elite and high-level athletes do have an increased pain tolerance, typically, and higher heat pain thresholds. Literally every part of them is built to last. They're built to push through the limits.